So I decided today to move on to Serenity. It is important to point out that Serenity comes after Firefly, that Firefly is the TV show, then Serenity is the movie. But the thing about Firefly is that not all that many people die. I mean, okay, yeah, people do die in the TV series, but it's never one of the main characters, and it's rarely somebody who's not acting as an antagonist. Right off the top of my head, I can think of one who does die, who's not an antagonist, but she's only a one-episode character, so... There's a mouse in my room. So yeah, ultimately I decided that I'm going to just move right on to Serenity. I may go back, possibly, and discuss some of the deaths in Firefly, but since it's not a main character, yeah. Now, technically, Book ends up dying because the operative specifically targeted Haven as a place to attack. Because the operative wanted to make sure that Serenity had no place to run to, and one of those places that it would normally run to is Haven, which is where Book was. Because keep in mind, Book left the ship when the movie started and he was living on Haven. So that is technically the reason why he died. The operative wanted to cut off all the places that Serenity would normally run to. But I personally think that there are a couple more reasons beside that. First of all, Book is the wise mentor. He was the wise mentor who Mal turned to whenever he needed advice. That was his job on the show in many ways. And you see that in a lot of different stories, the main character has this wise mentor that they always turn to for advice, and because they always have this wise mentor to turn to, they don't grow. I mean, you see this in stories like Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings and Star Wars and, honestly, even Buffy. And in all of those cases, the mentor has to go away somehow so that the character can grow. And usually this means death. Well, not always. And in many ways, Book is the same. He's Mal's wise mentor, so Mal's not going to be able to move forward by himself, as it were, until the mentor goes away. But also, this event is what truly pushes Mal into, I guess you could call it the anti-hero spot. The thing about Mal is that he is teetering on this line throughout the entire show between good and bad. And of course, this show is full of morally great characters, that's what makes it so good, but Mal was always kind of in the middle. But Book's death pushes Mal toward being much more ruthless than he would normally. I mean, he actually orders his crew to take these bodies of these people who they were friends with and strip them down and tie them to the ship. This is not an order that he would normally give, but it was Book's death, among all of the other deaths that happen in Haven and anywhere else, of course, that pushed him toward making this decision. Because Mal also realizes just how ruthless his opponent is. So Mal himself has to be as ruthless, if not more so. And it was also the only way that he was going to end up making it to Miranda, where he finds out the truth and finds out the way to defeat the enemy. Which is basically just to show him the truth. Which means that in the whole grand scheme of things, he wouldn't have defeated the enemy if Book hadn't have died. So, yeah, the only way he could have defeated the enemy is if Book had died. Sucks, but it's true. That's my opinion on the matter, but you can let me know what you think down in the comments. And I will see all of you